Gonna turn off the music. Thank you, Content Collector, for the follow. Let's see. Much better. Just trying to make sure I have everything properly set up. Thank you, Ikawi Princess. Take care. Okay. I think we got everything set up and ready to go. It might actually be better for me to use my other screen. I'm gonna use my other screen real quick, okay? Hey, Clove Buds. Okay, that one's not working. That's okay. Alright, we should be good to go. Unfortunately, it is a little bit... Oh, that's perfect. Nice. Okay. Never mind, I figured it out. Alright, time to get started. Okay. Thank you for the lyric. I appreciate it, Margarita. Hey, Rosie. Hey, Disobey. Again, huge thank you to Disobey for working with me so that I can get a key for this game. Long, long ago lived a farmer and his daughter in a small rural farming community. Oh, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. What the heck? Thank you. Wait, give me 1 second. There we go. Hello, Fitness to Cosplay. Thank you, I appreciate it. Long, long ago lived a farmer and his daughter in a small rural farming community. Every morning, the two of them would head down to the river to do their washing. One day, they were greeted by a giant sakura flower floating down the creek. To their astonishment, from the sakura emerged a giant cat. Almost as soon as the cat appeared, life on the farm began to flourish. But rival farmers, who were not receiving the same fortunes, figured the giant cat for a curse. The giant cat was chased out of the village by a jealous rival. And was banished from the village. Dad yawn is really funny. Hopefully y'all can see. Maybe I'll make my camera just a little bit smaller. That way I'm not blocking the... Smaller and move it up. That way we're blocking a little less of the screen. Hey, Imperfectly M. You better finish that story later, kiddo. We're almost there. It should just be down the street here. The art style is really nice. That's what I look for first in games. Because I know if I don't like the art style, then I'm not gonna want to play the game. Here it is. Looks like the house from the ad. It does, doesn't it? With Chihiro. Hey, Ash. Well, it used to look like the house from the ad, I bet. I'm gonna tidy up and get us settled inside. Why don't you look around a bit? I'll call you when we're all set up. Hey, new kid, over here. Bobo. Press J to open your journal. Okay. Okay, so it does look like there's some relationship aspect of the game. Press enter to interact with objects. You discovered the sakura flower. It did say that you work to build relationships with the villagers in between prepping for the night market, so. Okay. See you at the night market on Saturday nights. I can't sprint, Bobo. Oh, let me get... Wait. I like to explore. I know I'm supposed to be doing a tutorial, but... Neato, a craft store. Looks like they're closed today. You could buy drinks. Okay. And I have $100. I don't know where I got $100 for. Looks like this tool store is closed today. Wait, how much did it say these are? Not the $40 drinks. I don't think it's actually $40. It's probably based off of a different currency. Hey, cat, are you okay over there? Meow. darn it. One of those agents is blocking the way now. Agents? There's no time to explain. Come on, let's just make a run for it. He can't catch all two of us. Hey, what do y'all think y'all kids are doing here? This is our town too. Well, we're investigating something here. So beat it, lemonheads. Lemonheads? What a wad. That's so rude. Dude, I have what may be a super bad idea. Nice. Get ready. I'm gonna create a diversion. Hey, what do you think you're doing here? Hello, sir. My name is Bobo. Mr. Not Bobo. And I'm here to spread the word about, ramen. Yeah, ramen. Go on, Mr. Not Bobo. Now, new kid, go. You made it. I did, but how did you pass that agent? He's still talking about ramen to himself. Oh yes, the noodles. Another excellent part of ramen. Anywho, there's gotta be some kind of evidence around here. Help me look. Wait, what are we looking for? Him. He was here, I swear. Who's him? Him! There's no time. Help me look. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to look for. If you won't tell me who him is. You found a strange artifact. So it's him, the cat. Irene, thank you so much for the raid. And thank you for the happy birthday. Welcome in. Is this Samalanda? Main for short. Irene. Jude. Shiromukara. Udi, nice to see you. Is it Mano di Sui? Welcome in, friends. My name is Chi-Chi. I'm a cozy variety streamer and social justice advocate here on Twitch. If you'd like to stick around, feel free. If you have to take off, that's all good. But I'm happy to have you here. Today we are playing Mineko's Night Market, which comes out tomorrow on, let's see, PlayStation, Switch, Steam, and Xbox. So if you're looking to play a wonderful game where you get to craft items, eat food, inspired by Japanese culture, created by a Japanese developer, while we prepare for the night market on Saturdays, feel free to stick around. Again, the game does come out tomorrow, and I really appreciate it. I hope your stream was great. I would love to know what you were up to. Hello, it's Musy. Thank you, I appreciate it. Hey, Quiet Chickpea. Also, if y'all could click the link, if you plan to check it out, if you could click the link in my pinned message, I would really appreciate it. It would mean a lot to me. It does help support me. So please consider clicking the link just to check out the game. You're almost done with unpacking? I still need to finish it. Hey. So if you go to the Humble page, then there's a link to the Steam. So if you click my link, it'll take you to the Humble Games page, and then from there it will take you. You can click on the right hand side. It says like also available on PlayStation, Nintendo eShop, Steam, Xbox, or PC. So I think if you buy it on Humble Games, then it's just gonna be on PC. But if you buy it through Steam, then it will show up for Steam. Oh, yike. More suits. You're not supposed to be here, you nosy kid. Then I would really appreciate it, Irene. Do you know what we do to nosy kids like you? Chase them out using physical force if necessary? Oh. Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's the thing we do. Let's get her. Yike. Okay, hold right shift to run. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to run. Okay. Run, run, run! I was trying to run. I was trying. Clicking right shift is a little bit awkward for me, I think. Well, that's one less problem to worry about. Hey, thanks for not helping me catch her at all. You're so good at these things. I didn't want to get in the way. Morning, kiddo. You're alive. You were really out of it. What the heck happened yesterday? I was chased by some people in suits. I'm sure you weren't hanging out anywhere you weren't supposed to. Anyway, you must have bonked your head hard. Good thing you've got a huge melon for a head. Anyway, I'm gonna rest for a while. I've been up all night setting up inside here. But I'm almost done. Looks okay, huh? Need any help? I couldn't ask my own daughter for help, but since you're offering, it'd be rude of me not to let you help. Anyway, if you want to help unpack the rest of these boxes, that'd be swell. Oh, I almost forgot. Your new friend, Bobo, was worried about you. You should find him and let him know you didn't die. Also, let me do another. Go. Kiwi Song is a member of the Disabled Content Creators Collective. So if you're looking for more disabled content creators to follow, please check Kiwi Song out. Okay. This is so cute. Hello? This is adorable. There, that should be all of them. I'll let my dad know the job is done. Hey, Egghead. Great job unpacking the boxes. This place may not be so bad after all. You must be tired. I get tired just thinking about other people working. Make sure you have plenty of food and drink. Here, take one for the road, kiddo. Nothing like a little soda to replenish vital nutrients. You can drink up to 3 times per day to replenish energy. Okay. Welcome in, Jacob Preed. Okay, I can't actually see behind there. I thought you had to use the arrow keys, but you can use WASD. I figured you could, which is why I tried it. And it turns out you can. New kid. I thought you died, new kid. My name is Mineko. Oh, sorry. I just called you new kid because those are the 2 things I know about you. Of course, everyone around here knows who I am. I'm Bobo, CEO of the Bobo Mystery Solvers Incorporated. That sounds like a made-up company. Every company is a made-up company. Fair. Anyway, I'm glad you're okay. It would not have looked good for our village if the new kid died the day she got here. And our village has enough problems as it is these days. I mean, I'm also glad you're okay because, well, it sure beats not being okay. Thanks. Oh, new kid. I mean, Mineko. You should go see my mom at the craft store. She was worried about you. She thought you were deader than I did. Stop by sometime to show her your very alive face. I didn't drink coffee today, so I'm a little sleepy. Oh, it's a mailbox. Oh, does it be? It does be. A new person. Fancy to meet you here, new person. I am Left Cat. And I, the cat on the right, am Right Cat. And we are the Night Market Cats. Left Cat and Right Cat. Because I stand on the left side, and I the right. So what would happen to your names if you swap sides? So, the night market. Can we count on you to come to the night market this Saturday? Night market? Oh my, she doesn't know about the night market. It's cool, so cool. Yes, the weekly night market. It occurs every week. There are booths to shop, and games to play, and people to meet. Oh no, she's gonna realize we're making things up if she actually goes to the night market. Hush, we just gotta get them through the gates. I hear you two whispering. Okay, we're slightly exaggerating, for dramatic effect. You see, the night market, much like everything else in town, is not doing so great. We don't get a lot of new people traveling to our island these days. Hey Lala, and there are night market events. We're not doing that right now. Say, we have a number of openings if you'd like your very own booth at the night market. That we do. I've never... Hey kiddo. Sorry to interrupt. Carry on. Welly, well. We were just saying what a grand opportunity it'd be for a spry new kid to run her very own night market booth. An opportunity with memories that'll last till lunchtime. I wouldn't even know what I'd sell. You're always puttering around collecting and crafting stuff. Might as well turn that putter into profit. You really can sell anything you want. We are pretty desperate. Welcoming. We are welcoming. I guess I could give it a shot. That's the spirit, Wormburger. Excellent. Just head to the night market. Just head to the market through this gate every Saturday, Wormburger. My name isn't... I've never heard the name Wormburger before. Must be a mainland thing. Don't worry about missing the night market. The bus will come get you wherever you are when it's time. You literally can't miss it. See you on Saturday. Hey, Broden. So let's get as many flowers as we can. Plum flower. You can only forage so much, it looks like, because it does use your energy. You can see my energy slowly going down. But we need as many flowers as we can get. Camellia flower, one of my favorites. I freaking love the art style. I like that it's like 2D but 3D, you know? Like the puppet shows. Y'all know what I'm talking about or no? Wait, let's go back down here. And I'm so glad there's no time. Like, I don't see it, at least I don't see a time, unless I'm just missing it. There doesn't seem to be a time, which means I can actually take my time while I play instead of feeling like I have to rush. Hello. Hope you enjoy our little island. Stay out of my fishing hole though. Kidding. Daisuke. Come talk to me if they ever open up the docks again. And you still host a fishing challenge around here. Hey, Mac. Okay, so all these closed buildings. I really should have made coffee, but it's okay. So I wonder, are we gonna get to repair buildings? I tried not to look too much into this game because I want to be surprised. Let's go to the craft store first. Welcome to the craft store. It's you, the new girl in town, Mineko, I believe? Yep, that's me. Yay, I'm going to remember you. My name is Bobo's mom. Is that your real name? It is. Lucky for me, I ended up having a child named Bobo. Hello. Speaking of whom, Bobo told me you died out in the woods, but I can see now that you are not dead, which is much better when you think about it. Let me show you something. Why don't you go and take that flower craft bench? Grandparents were determined to have a grandchild named Bobo. I'm a little short on money at the moment. So that's why they named... Okay, so that's why they named her Bobo's mom. I wonder what significance there is in the name Bobo. Oh, I meant you can have it as a gift. She's trying to keep you busy so you don't go and almost die again. Bobo? Nobody dies. Bobo does look like a Bobo. Anywho, I bought that flower craft bench for my daughter, Saki, but she has developed other interests. Yeah, she developed a real keen interest in going out late with her friends. Bobo. Anywho, I'll have the flower craft bench delivered to your house immediately. I saw you just moved into the old house on the western side. Yeah, now we can all stop wondering if anyone will ever move into that weird side of town again. Bobo is so rude. Bobo is so rude and so bad. There's nothing weird about that side or people that live on that side of the island. In fact, before you two were born, there were plenty of families that lived there. You know, back when there were actual jobs in the market to look forward to. Where did everyone go? Most people left the island to look for work, but a handful of residents stayed because we just couldn't bear to leave this place. We call those people suckers. Bobo! Thank you, Mineko. Anywho, go check out your new flower craft bench at home when you have a moment. I'd be very excited to see what you make with it. Thank you, Bobo's mom. Not Bobo being bad. Wait, let me go back in and check the shop. Okay, so that's where we can sell stuff. Let's talk to Bobo's mom again. Oh, have you had a chance to try making a cat bouquet yet? So that's what we're supposed to make. Bobo is bad as heck. And then let's go in here. Oh, never mind, it's closed. Bobo. Hey, Wormburger. Looks like you got a delivery in your room. Okay. Nifty. Find 4 sakura flowers and 3 plum flowers to craft a cat bouquet. Looks like I have enough flowers to craft a cat bouquet on my flower craft bench. Welcome in. That is a very interesting name. Submissive Guy 41. Wait for the arrow to enter the green area. Yay, I made a cat bouquet perfect. I should show this perfect cat bouquet to that nice lady, Bobo's mom at the craft store. See, I love this. Like, I love that I'm just, like, progressing the story, that I'm going slowly, and that there's doesn't seem to be a time limit just yet. I needed a game like this to kind of slow down with the time games. I know. Sorry, we're still awaiting our next shipment of Mineko. You're always welcome here. Were you ever able to figure out how to use that flower craft bench? If you ever make anything with it, I'd love to see. Oh, it gave me a full heart. Did you make this? Wow, you're a natural at this. I can't wait to see what else you make. You know what? You really should be selling this at the night market every Saturday night. Heck, I would buy more of these from you if you sold them there, especially since we are friends now. I suppose it may be difficult to make more crafts with so few flowers that grow in our village. People used to go out to the gardens to pick flowers, but travel to most areas of the island are restricted right now with the agency investigating. Agency? I'm sure you've seen those mysterious folks in suits poking around here and there. You can tell who they are because nobody wears suits out here. Any other way to get to the gardens? Unfortunately, they've apparently secured the entire area of the gardens. Such a shame. I hope they're open again soon. We used to visit there every summer. Okay, I better get going. Oh, since you're such a natural at this, let me teach you another recipe. You learn the kokedama recipe for the flower craft bench. We keep talking and gifting things to various people. You never know what someone can teach you. Thank you so much for stopping by, Mineko. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna buy anything just yet. Yo. Yo, Minix. Can I call you Minix? It's shorter and cooler. It's literally the same number of letters as Mineko. But it ain't cooler. Anyway, we gotta find a way to get to the gardens. I didn't know you had such enthusiasm for flowers. Forget flowers, there's been another sighting of him. Hold on. Again with the him. Who the heck are you talking about? Nico. It's Nico. Nico. Yes, Nico. I can't say it any greener. I love the fourth wall breaking. Didn't you ever read the story of Nico before? It's like the oldest story ever. Of course I have, but what the heck are you talking about? Nico is a character from a book. That's what they want you to think. They? Those creepy agents. They're behind this, I know it. There have been Nico sightings here and there around this island for years. But lately, the sightings have been more frequent. Everyone's got their own Nico sighting story now. And now, just by coincidence, these agents begin popping up? Well, you don't gotta be a genius to figure out something smells fishy here. But thankfully, I'm a genius. I skipped first grade. Anyway, there are agents all over the gardens, and I gotta see what they're guarding. If you attempt to enter the gardens, I'm coming with. Alright, now it's time to take the bus. Oh, we got mail too. Something from the Flower Museum? Greetings, the Flower Museum is now accepting donations. Come visit us in the village today. Let me drink some of my tea. Sorry, give me one moment. And close out some of this. Alright, there we go. I think I have flowers. Well, let's just go to the gardens first. We might find more flowers that we can donate. Congratulations, you took your first trip on a local bus. They surrounded the place. We gotta find a way in somehow. Is it just me? Or did you notice those agents seem to have captured cats in cages? What the heck? That's where all the cats are going. Cats are going missing? Yeah, this island used to be full of cats, but recently, they've just been vanishing. Like, around the time these agents started appearing? Yeah, I swear all this junk is connected. I might know someone who knows something about this. Dude, I'm gonna do some interrogating back home. You gotta free these cats, Mineko. I thought we were gonna... Are you chickening out on me? No, not even a teensy bit. Being the brains of this operation is work too. I'll catch you at home. I believe in you, Mineko. Okay, Bobo or Bobs. Oh, it's Bobo, not Bobs. Now I got ditched. Thanks, Bobs. Liberate the captured cats. If you get caught 3 times, you have to start over. Okay. Oh. These guards are not very good at their job. This one's literally reading magazines. Like... It does. Can I just sneak around this side? Are you kidding me? They're looking right at it. Oh, I can move rocks for cover. Hey, Sarah. Run, run, run. Oh. Well, I got caught once. I didn't know I was gonna be caught behind the rock. Oh no! I have to be careful. There's a suspicious looking agent in that tea house. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to get this cat. I only have 1 life left, so... I mean, if I have to start over, though, that's fine. Okay. So I gotta start over. Oh, I didn't mean to sneak. A tool belt. I don't think I found this last time. Did I? Thank you, I appreciate it. I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not even reacting. Oh, so you're supposed to put them to sleep. Well, I did it a little differently. Um, oh, I got too close, I guess. I don't know how I'm supposed to get this last one then. I did try. I tried to go around the other side. It won't let me. I tried to go back here. It's like not letting me. Hey, Cthulhu. Yeah, I tried to go to the other side. That was like the first thing I did. Like, I'm trying to look for maybe any openings there could be. But I'm not seeing any. Do y'all see any way I could get this cat? I'm sure I have this tool belt for a reason, right? There's not really any way for me to knock it over. Like, I'm trying to... Let's see. There's no, like, jump option or anything. No, so you can't place anything. Yeah, you can't place anything. Hello, Cozy Girl Steph. I feel like I recognize your name from Twitter, maybe. Well, let's go look around and see if there's anything else in the area that maybe we could use. It sounded like there was something here. Hey Moonchi, thank you for the lurk. Hey Sheila, nice to see you. I'm trying to figure this out, y'all. I'm trying. I don't know what the... I don't know what the... I like it. I just don't know what to do right here. No, I haven't. I didn't see any. Let's actually do this part the way you're supposed to. Okay, can I sneak this? Can I get this rock all the way over there? I don't want to get... I don't know if I'm gonna get seen. I swear, if I block this agent with this rock and this actually works, this game is going to be so funny to me. Okay, it didn't work. I don't know what I'm supposed to do then. Unless I just did it the wrong way. Oh, I almost got caught there. So it won't let me move this any further. Yeah, no. I don't think it has anything to do with the rocks. I'm just gonna keep trying until we figure it out, though. Let me just move the rocks maybe where they're supposed to go. I'm just gonna try that and see if that does anything. Okay, well that didn't do anything. Now I'm stuck on the first real puzzle of the game. Oh! Why'd they turn that way? I'm gonna lose all my lives. They like literally just randomly turned. What the heck was that? I did try and move the radio, it didn't work. Thank you for the lurk. Oh yeah, sure, I'll try that. Hey, Raspberry. No, I don't think it did anything. What happens if I... Ah, okay. I don't know, friends. What do we do? Dang it. I was hoping maybe I could sneak by. But they're literally looking directly at it. I've tried like sneaking around. There's nowhere I can go. Hey, water bells. I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna look it up. Because I don't know what to do. Thank you for the hydrate. There's probably not even gonna be anything available. Oops. Hey, Rodria. Yeah, I can't find anything. I think maybe there's something with the rocks, but we tried the rocks and it didn't work. So hello, is it Tontona? Tontona? I want to make sure I'm saying it correctly. Hey, Afrocentric Distortion. Look at how I'm just sliding. Please. You think the rocks aren't in the right slots? I did put on the dance music. It didn't do anything. Like, what slot would the rocks need to go into instead? Yeah, I'm not sure how else the rocks would need to go. Well, we're stuck on this puzzle, and we've been stuck on it for a while. Um, the smallest one, the shortest one, and the second tallest one are the same width. So I don't know what this is gonna do, but they're the same width. art style is really nice. I wish I could figure out what I'm supposed to do here. Cause it's literally not letting me do anything else. So I don't know what exactly we're supposed to do here. If you have any suggestions, feel free to share them. Cause I have no clue what we're supposed to be doing here. Sorry, y'all. My message is wrong. Let me see. It's not out today. It's out tomorrow. Yeah, so we're supposed to free these cats, and if you step in the light, then the guard sees you. And so we've been trying to figure out how we're supposed to make it so the guard doesn't see us. But like, I can't go anymore this way. I'm gonna leave and come back. Because I can't go this way. I'm gonna leave and come back. I'm thinking maybe I have to... Maybe I have to like buy food and put it on the desk. If that's possible. I don't even know water bells because that was our first one. That was our first like level. Goto. Greetings and welcome to the future home of the Flower Museum. Future? As you can see, this flower museum can use a few flowers. You know, if you find any flowers out in the world, I would love if you would donate them here. If we collect enough samples, it'll surely raise interest in this island as a truly spectacular world of flora that must be preserved. I'll do what I can. That's the spirit. think 8 different types of flowers would be enough to open this place up to the public. Looks like there's no guards up here anymore. But you can't go over there because we broke the bridge. We'll try and go back tomorrow now that we have food. Hey kiddo, have you made me rich yet? We have food now, so... Hey, McSfee. Let's go do our daily... Hey, Bobo. I swear I saw him. Okay, Bobo. Alright, we're gonna try it again. Nope, so that wasn't it. I don't know. I don't know, friends. I don't know what we're supposed to do here. Hey, Caroline. I don't know what we're supposed to do here. I did try sneaking, but it didn't work. Every time I try and sneak, I get too close. Oh, I didn't know that counted as my third life. Even though it made me start all the way over. Hey, Diogen. Try sneaking from the top, I guess, since we're already starting all the way over anyway. Yeah, it doesn't let me sneak. This is a little frustrating because I don't know what else to try. Oops. I tried to like make it. Oh, there's a magazine? No, I don't have a magazine. So I was missing an item. I thought it was maybe food, but if it's a magazine, that makes more sense. Oh, one of the agents has it. Whoops. Okay, so I'm just bad and didn't pay attention. Thanks, Disobey. Yeah, I definitely missed that. I didn't know what that magazine was supposed to mean. I'm like, is it the rocks? Welcome in, no face, no case. Very interesting names today. Hey Nordenheim, nice to see you. It's going pretty well, how are you? Not that being the key. The rocks did look important. Okay. We would have been stuck here forever. I mean, we already were here for a long time. Ugh, we're wasting our time here. Let's roll out. Yeah, I was gonna suggest we roll out. I was already in the process of rolling out before you said, let's go. Going. The agents have left the village garden. Cats have returned to the area. Yes, you can pet them. Dude, that was rice balls. You got rid of them all. Everything's working out. Heck yeah. Most things are working out. Most? Minix, I've been crunching the numbers. The deeper we get into this mess, the more it seems we're gonna need some money. You know? I know. I'm going to be making us some money, right? Hey, you're the one with the night market booth. Keep on crafting and finding stuff to sell at Saturday's night market. It'll be a huge help to our biz. Oh, did you know you can also sell any spare flowers and junk at my mom's craft store too? Now go make us that coin, Minix. And what will you be doing? Hey, being the face of this company is a job too. Peace outies. Black hairball. We get to pet the cats. I do need to eat. Can I steal this drink? White hairball. Why are you following me? Are we gonna be returning the cats to the island now? Is that why it's following me? We need to get as many flowers as we can get, because we can make stuff with them. Oh, 2 cats are following me now. Oh. I'm almost out of energy. Oh my gosh, they're all following me. Yeah, I'm out of energy now. Oh, that looks like a special hairball. Don't forget, friends, you can check out Mineko's Night Market and wishlist it on either the Humble Games website or on Steam. Thank you, Crispy. Clicking the link does help to support me. You can learn more about the game and do a better job than I did of solving puzzles. Thank you again to Disobey and Humble Games for the key. Is that cat stuck? Okay, it was stuck. Okay. We're bringing 5 cats with us. Let's see if there's any over here. No, okay. We'll come back tomorrow when we have more energy. Uh-oh, here comes trouble with a capital T. Let's see. Thank you for the I love it here. It's Saturday. Don't forget about the night market tonight. Oh, hey, Tuna Face. It's Saturday. You ready for the night market? Not quite. Well, you better get cracking. It's still early and the night market doesn't start until, well, the night. So you still have some time to prepare. Wow, the night market has been around for a while, huh? You know, there's no chance you'll remember this, but we actually brought you here to Mount Fuji Island to visit the night market when you were teeny tiny. Teenier and tinier than you are now, I mean. And I've been coming here since I was your age, too. So you know, it must be ancient. I know you were signed up for this kind of abruptly, but I know you're gonna love it. It was always important when I was young to, I don't know. I just think you'll love it. Anywho, I'll let you get on with your day now that you decided to wake up. See you there tonight, kiddo. Okay. We're going back to the gardens because I want to check and see... Oh. The Night Market Food Museum is now on the lookout for donations. Come see the museum in the village. Oh. Oh, you scared me with your new face. Not that your face is scary, but I wasn't expecting to see a new combination of facial features. Anyway, what's your deal? Like, mine is dogs. Everyone knows me as a kid that likes dogs. What's your thing? Maybe cats? Nah, but we'll find something for you, kid. You're still young yet. Oh wait, you're the kid that fell off that bridge and almost died. That's your thing. I don't think... No, that was rad. You showed you got guts. A dog-like fight in your heart. Come talk to me if you ever want to do any tradesies. So it has to be dog stuff. Hey new dude, you into any games? I love games, but there's nothing to do around here. People seem to be into these boximal things lately. You ever seen them? Hey. Welcome in, Rycourts. I like your style. You should be on my show sometime. You got it. Wicked. I mean, I don't have a show now, but when I do, you should be on it. I really want to start a show all about food. If you ever want to help me get this thing off the ground, come talk to me. We're going to be superstars. I swear I saw him. Bobo just says the same thing. Do you listen to Boys? Boys? The hottest band to ever exist? Which one is your favorite? Mine is Show. I called him. No, wait, it's Coco. I can't choose. Don't make me. I wasn't making you choose. You the new kid, Granny Fanny. Don't you go around giving our town a bad name, you hear? Oh, who am I kidding? This town already has a bad name. This place used to be great. Ugh, I gotta get out of this town. There's Saki, Bobo's sister. Hello, are you staying hydrated? Keep plenty of drinks on hand for a quick energy boost when you need it. You here for my autograph? I'm gonna be a famous ball player like Speedo Aguero someday. You may doubt me now, but I never said I doubted you. So you think I could be a professional baseball player? Sure. Whoa. This is huge. Yeah, the character design is really nice. I think Lily is my favorite design so far. Hello, I hope you're enjoying our little island. Everybody is always talking about leaving. I don't think it's so bad around here. Hey there. Are you the new kid everyone's talking about? Yes, I am. Hey, Mas Bios. Hello. Welcome to the future home of the Night Market Food Museum. The museum seems to be missing some things. Ah, an observant one. Yes, a few exhibits will really kick this museum up a notch. I'm trying to catalog all the wonderful flavors of the night market. Have you ever been to the market? I can't say that I have. Yeah, I guess the night market isn't exactly the hip thing kids are doing these days. But when I was your age, it's the thing we all did, and I miss it. If you happen to acquire any foods from the night market, I'd love for you to donate them here if you're willing. When we have enough samples, we can open this place up to tourists and show everyone the wonderful tastes of our unique night market. There are around 38 types of food to discover at the night market, but we really only need to find 20 to open this place up to visitors. Okay, so we definitely need to get like some food or something. Oh, let's talk to these kids. Hey, you dork. You the new kid in town? I used to be the new kid in town too. Are you selling at the night market? I am. I'm a vendor there. Maybe if you're cool, I'll let you pick my brain someday to see how I do it all. Hey you, are you into bugs too, or do you think they're gross? I like bugs. You don't gotta be brave around me. I bet you think they're gross. Okay. Thank you for the I love it here. I'm always looking to spruce this place up with some more decorations. If you happen to make a Sakura fan, I would love to see it. You'll need a paper craft bench to make one, and we should have one in stock very soon. I'm selling hairballs. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Selling hairballs. I just want to have something to give us energy while we go back to the gardens. Hey, Jade. Okay, do they always... Oh, it only gives me half? And the orange hairball isn't here this time. You can only eat 3 times a day, so... I thought maybe I was bringing them back with me, but... I'm trying to pet this one. It keeps changing its position each time, so I'm not sure if it will eventually follow me. I guess not. So yeah, I can't get any more hairballs. Alright, bye-bye kitties. Because I don't have enough energy to do anything else. Oh, who are you? Hello, night market aficionado. Just head on through this gate when you're ready to join us. Alright, I guess we'll go to our night market, the night market for the first time. A new booth has arrived at the night market. A new booth has arrived at the night market. Welcome, welcome to the first night market of spring. This week's night market theme is the Super Amazing Cat Festival Extravaganza. My oh my, oh my. Make sure to stop by the stage before the end of the night to catch our live race. I'm so excited I could burst. I'm gonna poop my cat suit. Oh, we have a couple of new night market vendors to introduce. Please welcome Mineko and Mineko. Wow, such enthusiasm, such panache, such gumption. I don't know if that's how you say that word, the second word. All of us here cannot wait to see what you have for us. All right, you are also here. Why don't you tell the crowd what you're planning to sell at the night market? Some crafted goods. Oh, okay. Good luck with whatever that is. And how about you, Miyako? What are you planning on selling here? Whatever you need, you can find it at Miyako's night market. Wonderful, wonderful. Extremely well said. Both of you. Now go shop, eat, play, enjoy. Hey kids, we seem to be 2 riders short for the cat race tonight. Would you two be interested in participating? Is it safe? It's totally safe as long as you don't get hurt. Do you like my emote? The more you sell, the more it will inspire other folks around town to open up their own booths too. And come by the stage when you're ready, and we'll get you two set up for this big super cat race spectacular. Come one, come all. Open for business. Welcome, welcome. Can you do 114? Nice. Oh, actually, I don't have any money. I guess no one wants to... Hola, how's my favorite vendor doing today? Thanks to vendors like you, word of the night market is really getting around. Keep up the great work, kid. The night market has leveled up to level 2. Keep an eye out for upgrades to the night market next week. Blue dye. Hey, little dude. Huh? Oh, huh? Who knew the night market was still running? Wait, did we talk to this person? Rio. I don't think we talked to Rio. Hope you're enjoying the market here, Ace. I cannot speak. I wish there were more games here. Maybe someday. I heard that bands used to perform at the night market. Oh, so I guess this is where like a bunch of vendors are eventually gonna be? This is fun, but I wish they had more stuff here. Oh, I hope they bring back some of the classic night market foods they used to serve here. I heard the baseball great Speedo Agaru came to the night market a few years ago when the night market was cooler. You should have seen the night market in its heyday. It's so great to see you embracing the night market, Mineko-chan. Yo, Minex, I hope you made lots of money to fund our adventures. Not really. You should have been here when they used to have more games. I read that this place used to be a train station. I wonder if there are ghosts here. Welcome in, Drizzle513. I'm just glad to be outside. Okay. This game is about crafting items, foraging, finding food, to sell at the night market so that you can upgrade it and more people will visit this town. Ready to start the main event. Remember, this is the last event of the night, so the night market will end immediately afterwards. Good luck, everybody! Welcome to the main event. Before we start the super incredible cat race extravaganza, let's introduce our riders. First up, we have Miyako. Eat my dust, you wieners. Next up, we have Bobo. I forgot I signed up for this. And next, everyone, please welcome Mineko. Let's go. And finally, we have a cat riding another cat? Oh my gosh. Not the taunting meows. Riders, take your marks, and may the best racer win. The race will consist of 2 laps around the perimeter of the market. Try your best. Oh. No, I'm so close. Dang it. Thank you for the lurk. Whew, what a race we just witnessed. Why, I would say they're all winners. Oh wait, it looks like we have an actual winner. The winner of the super spectacular race of cat. I forget what we called this thing. The winner of the race is Mineko. Don't forget to join us again next week. Everyone go home. We are done now. I was so close to winning. So close. I didn't know you had to press sprint. Oh, let's go donate this food if the shop is still open. Oh, it's closed. I tried, y'all. I tried. I didn't know you had to sprint. I'm not doing a very good job of this game. Morning, Conehead. I found it. I told ya. It tastes just like our favorite tea from that one place by our old house, doesn't it? Maybe a little. Nah, it's the exact same. We found our tea. That's one more thing to cross off the list. Not sure it's the same. Nah, you're wrong there, kiddo. Anyway, are you feeling any better this morning? My head feels much better now. You look like you're doing better. But I mean, how are you feeling otherwise? How do you mean? Not much. I mean, nothing in particular. It's just that I moved a lot as a kid, and yeah, it was always tough too. I'm really okay. Okay, good. It looks like you're making new friends here already too. That kid with that, haircut seems nice. What's it, Bo? Nobo? What's his deal? Bobo? Yeah, he seems okay. Yeah, Bobo. He seems like a neat little fella. Well, I'm sure you'll make a lot more friends in no time here, too. I was outside earlier this morning and met a few folks. They seem nice around here. Why don't you go and introduce yourself to some of them, too? Sure, I can do that. Great. Probably best to learn your name since I think I accidentally told everyone I had a daughter named Wormburger. Dad? Well, have fun meeting people out there. Everyone around here seems nice. Bobo's mom seems like a cool lady. I mean, she gave you that craft bench and everything. That's pretty neat. Yeah. Kiddo? Yeah? I'm glad you're okay. Thanks, Dad. Jeez, this tea is lousy. Yeah. Oh, looks like I've already met enough villagers. I should tell my dad. Nice. Hey, Pinecone Head, you getting to know the people around town? Yeah, they seem nice. See, I told you the people wouldn't be so bad around here. You must be talked out from meeting so many people. Here, take some energy for the road. Oh, hey, you should be looking for things to sell at the night market in the meantime, which is coming up on Saturday. I'm gonna look for a shop around here to find some materials to fix up the outside of this house. I'll let you know if I could use any help then. What is it, Dad? This. The house? Yeah. I wanted a new start for us here, but this is not what I was expecting. This is not the same house I saw in the ad, that's for sure. We can spruce this place up. We've never done anything like this, kiddo. You know what? I'm in. The sooner we get this house taken care of, the sooner I can get back to work. I almost forget what money looks like. Where should we start? Got a bulldozer in your bag? Dad? Okay, let's see here. You know, this place might not be so bad if we gave the structure a little bit of love. Fixing these walls would make this place more presentable. We're gonna need a lot of paper for this job. Our house is made of paper? Yep, the strongest of all building materials. Where do we get paper from? How would I know, kiddo? I'm new too. In fact, everyone's been calling me the new dad in town. Hey, Sunberry. When you were snoozing this morning, I took a walk around and saw that the tool store is now open. Oh, how convenient. Yeah, lucky for us, everything seems to open right when we need it to. Why don't you ask the nice-looking man who works there if he knows where we can find some paper? Nice-looking man? You'll know what I mean when you see him. I mean, whoa. Sounds good, Dad. The tool store is right next to the craft store. They should know where to find some paper there. I'll assess the repairs that need to be made here in the meantime. Are you that new kid that's looking for Nico? Yeah, that's me. I mean, Nico is okay, but I think there are way more interesting folktales than the story of Nico. Me, I'm way into crypto. That's short for cryptozoology. I'm going to catalog all of the mysterious creatures or the yokai of this island. How many have you found so far? None. Welcome to Hank the Hunk's Tool Emporium. Nice to meet you, newcomer. I'm Hank the Hunk. Most people just call me the Hunk for short. Why do they call you that? Do you know where I can find paper? Paper, you say? Come on, give me a hard one. All the people on our island is local. No important paper for us, baby. Great, where can I find some? Well, the closest area where paper can be found is in the birch forest. But if you're talking about unrestricted places, you're out of luck, little friend. Only workers are currently permitted to travel to most places on the island due to... I don't know what it's due to. I guess it's because those jerkwad agents say so. You know, if, and this is a big if you were to carry a paper axe with you, the bus driver may mistake you for a forest worker, and they may just let you off at the birch forest. But I know you wouldn't possibly do that, because it would be wrong to defy the restrictions set by those very reputable agents. So for sure you wouldn't save up your money to buy a paper axe to gain entry into the birch forest. Is that one tool for sale over there? Yeah, it must be your lucky day. I mean, the one tool you need is the one tool I have for sale. What are the odds? Sorry, friends. I really need coffee. Maybe I can get some later. But keep checking in here. I should have a new supply of tools coming in shortly. Probably when you're done with whatever it is you're doing. 600. Very nice design. I'm really enjoying this game so far. Oh, I keep accidentally sneaking around. Collecting 100 flowers. I got my first achievement. I didn't even know I've already collected 100. Why are you stuck, little kitty? Oh, I wasn't stuck. I just couldn't see it behind the trees. cats are getting stuck. They keep getting stuck. Alright, bye-bye kitties. Yay, the tea redemption actually worked this time. Oh, I keep accidentally sneaking. Alright, let's just sell our flowers. I don't know if this is a good idea, but I'm already doing it, so. Ah, the paper axe I see. The perfect tool for law-abiding activities that don't involve trespassing into restricted locations. Of course. Go give 'em heck, little friend. Oh, and here goes another flower. I feel like we're progressing pretty quickly through this game. New location discovered. Hey, you made it. I didn't know you were gonna be here. Where else is the CEO of the Bobo Mystery Team Ltd going to be? I see your company name changed. Anyway, I want to be a part of it this time. We gotta save those cats. I have some ideas. So what's your genius idea? I could cause a diversion. I'll pretend there's some kind of emergency and distract the agent while you look around. I mean, it might not work, and we might still get caught, but it's something. Anything else? Well, we could always do with the old tried and true bribery. Who doesn't want money, right? Of course, in order to bribe someone with money, it's gonna cost you, well, money. Any other plans? I guess we could always just make a run for it. I'll leave it up to you. Liberate the captured cats. Okay, how should we do this? I did it! Not the agent just left. What's this? I love how they just all keep leaving. There we go. Oh, dang it. I wasn't about to spend my money. I can't believe we did that. I was born for this. What's our next adventure? What's our next one? Hold on, let's explore this place. Yeah, I agree. Yes. As CEO of Boba Mysteries Hunters Anonymous, I approve. So, what's next? Stay here, I'll look around. Aye, Cap, Junior. I'll see what I can find. Bobo is very silly. Okay, it looks like there's... Okie dokie. Thank you. It looks like there's another switch oh, here it is. Did you hear that? What was that? I don't know, but let's find out. It made me go all the way back to the start. You discovered an artifact. The agents have left the birch forest. You can now use this location to harvest paper trees. Cats have returned to the birch forest. Wow, that was intense. I feel like my heart is beating. I hope so. So what's up with these artifacts we keep finding around these agents? They're evidence of Nico's existence. I know it. And these darn agents must be hot on his trail. Mineko, or Minex as you like to be called. We need to free these cats across the entire island. I don't know why those agents are kidnapping the cats, but it has to do with Nico. Somehow, some way. I agree with you. Yes. I knew I chose the right person to be the assistant secretary of Bobo's Mysterious Mystery Hunters LLC. We're gonna have to find a way to get around this island. I was talking to Hank the Hunk, and he was saying, I know Hank too, and he was saying that people with tools may be able to access certain parts of the island. Oh, cool. So we use them as, like, blunt force weapons. I'll call the pickaxe. No. I can masquerade as workers and enter these forbidden locations. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fun too. Some combat really would have stepped up our adventures. But yeah, we'll go with your thing this time. That's why you're the greatest boss in the history of the Bobo squad of mystery solvers. Hey, Steven. Well, I'm heading home. Oh, if you do decide to stick around and harvest some paper, make sure you're only harvesting the birch tree stumps, not the living trees. That's good sustainable living. Yeah, our island isn't all bad. Anyway, peace outies. Okay, so... I'm too tired to chop. Okay, so we can't stay here and chop today, but I think this is where we're gonna end the sponsored segment of our stream. So thank you everyone for tuning in for Mineko's night market. We did our first night market. We unlocked 2 areas. We've gotten a bunch of stuff in the museum. We got 1 item for the food museum as well. So this was a great stream. I'm going to switch over to the co-working segment of our stream, but I'm going to be restarting the stream so that this segment can be separate and people can watch the VOD if they'd like. Thank you again for hanging out with me for this part of the stream, and we're gonna go ahead and end that there. And I will be right back after we restart the stream to do some co-working. So I'll be back, okay?